Hi, hello, everyone, and welcome to this special bonus episode of Monster Madness. It's Featurette Friday, wherein we discuss either a random bit of horror news, a new piece of media that just released, or something new to us, and we want to chat with you about it. But before we get into what it is, on this episode, I'm joined with my joyous and loyal co-pilot, Matthew. Hi, Matt.
Oh, hey!
Long time no see.
We totally didn't just record something else.
No, you're looking good, girl.
Oh yeah, moisturizer.
It really makes you shine. You glowing. Listen, your skincare routine, I don't know if you still keep up with it, but I like to, accredit myself to. See, you beautiful bitch. Yep. That probably added 5 to 10 years to that freshness.
Yeah, I mean,
your
sure. Okay.
Silicone scrubber.
Yep.
With your little Thayers.
Yep.
So proud of you.
Thanks. It's all because of you.
Anyway, I try, Yeah, I try. I try to help the people. But anyway, as always, you can find Monster Madness on all your favorite social media platforms. You can donate to this show and support it in many different ways. Check out our show notes to find out all the stuff that we're doing, where you can find us, and all that jazz. But this episode is special because this is a Featurette Friday episode, and Matt and I are discussing the new horror film, Longlegs.
Will you tell me the honest truth about something?
I'll try.
Do you still say your prayers?
No, Mom. I never said my prayers, never once. They scared me. What's so funny?
You're right. No, our prayers don't help us. Prayers don't do a goddamn thing.
So I have to be honest with you. I am an AMC Stubs member. I was a free member. I used to go to the movies all the time. And then I re-upped because it's only $15 a year. And I want to start going to the movies again. Do you know what the last time I went to the movies was? I looked it up because my Stubs renewed and it showed me the last time I bought a movie ticket. The last time I physically went into a movie theater was 2019.
Oh, shit. I was going to say 2022. All right. Well,
I went and saw Rise of Skywalker on December 23rd, 2019. And then COVID happened and I just stopped going to the movies.
I can't remember if we talked about this, but I use Fandango just because. Because I went back through it and looked at the movies because we don't go that often. But we did go see this, and then your unoriginal ass went and saw it too.
Well, you made it sound so appealing. I kind of couldn't help myself.
And you enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It was really exciting to go back to the movies. It was exciting to go see. I do like seeing horror movies sometimes in the movie theater because that gives my scaredy cat ass time to decompress on the ride home. So I'm not terrified in my own house the whole time. I think the last horror movie I saw in the movie theaters was Halloween 2018. And I was annoyed because I had people fucking yelling and jumping the whole time.
So did I tell you that we could smell the people 7 rows in front of us during the movie?
You did.
Yeah. Fucking, I can still think about it. I mean,
still haunts
me. Smell it. Boo.
That's really unfortunate. I would have probably said something. I would have said something. I would have been SOS to the fuck. Because, I think at AMC, you can, text the fucking people and be there's a stinky boy. Help. But actually, I went with my girlfriend at, 4:15 because the 1 o'clock showing got canceled because I don't think anybody bought tickets for it. Naturally, there was maybe 5 other people in the theater. And, of course, 2 of them were right next to us. But it was this adorable, these 2 older guys, but they were very clearly a couple. And my dude who is sitting right next to me, because I got annoyed the second he sat down, there's fucking so many other empty seats. I grant it, you buy the ticket, you see what fucking seat you're buying. Why couldn't you buy 2 seats down so you're not on my ass?
Right.
But it was actually a quite enjoyable community experience because I knew I was going to love sitting next to him when we were watching all the trailers. Because naturally, when you go to an R-rated horror movie, all of the trailers are horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
This dude jumped at every fucking trailer. Every single one. He was like, oh, like every fucking time the music like burnt, like did the jump scare and everything, that my dude jumped and his boyfriend next to him was fucking dying. It was awesome. But yeah, Longlegs, I was really excited to see after talking with you about it. I think you guys are going to hear us discussing it on the episode that comes out after this episode releases, funnily enough. So you're going to have to do some time traveling. But yeah, you talked it up. I did see a trailer for it and it did seem intriguing to me, but I hadn't gone to the movies in so long. I was like, whatever. But yeah, you definitely motivated me and it was well worth it. So Longlegs was released on May 31st, 2024 at Beyond Fest and then theatrically, oh my God, say the word.
Theatrically?
Thank you. Oh God, this stutter. July 12th, 2024. It was directed by Oz Perkins, also known as Osgood. And if you don't know who that is, he is actually horror royalty. He is the son of Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates in Psycho. A quick shout out as well. The music of this movie, I know we don't typically shout out the music, but it's done by a American folk band, Zilgi, I think it's how it's pronounced. Either which way, the lead singer of that band is Elvis Brooke Perkins, who happens to be Oz's brother, also another child of Anthony Perkins. So it's nice, right in the family. It was written, directed by him, and it is stellar. It stars Micah Monroe, who you may recognize from the acclaimed movie It Follows, Nicolas Cage, Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt, Michelle Choi Lee, Dakota Dolby, Lauren Akala, and Kieran Shipka, who plays Sabrina in Sabrina the new chilling tales of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was produced by C2 Motion Picture Group, Oddfellows Entertainment, Range Media Partners, Saturn Films, and Traffic. Special effects were done by Casa FX. It was filmed from January 16th to February 23rd, 2023 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Now, Longlegs, the plot of this movie, because we're just going to run through it real quick and then talk about how we felt about it, how we liked it, and all that jazz. In 1970s Oregon, a young woman with a Polaroid camera follows a mysterious voice and encounters an erratic man in pale makeup. In the 1990s, FBI agent Lee Harker, who exhibits possible clairvoyance, is assigned by her supervisor, William Carter, to a case involving a series of murder-suicides in Oregon. Each case involves a father killing his family and himself, leaving behind a letter with satanic coding signed Longlegs, whose handwriting belongs to none of the family members. Lee discovers that each family had a 9-year-old daughter born on the 19th of the the 14th of the month. The murders all occurred within 6 days before or after the birthday itself, and the murders form an occult triangle symbol on a calendar, with one date missing. While talking to her mother, Ruth, Lee receives a coded birthday card from Longlegs, warning her that revealing the source of the code will lead to her mother's murder. Following a clue, Lee and Carter find a doll with a high-energy orb inside. Despite Carter's skepticism of the supernatural, Lee theorizes that Longlegs uses the orbs to possess people, as each family received a similar doll. After visiting Carrie, the sole survivor of Longlegs' attacks, who was visited previously by someone using Lee's name, Carter suspects Lee's connection to Longlegs. Discovering that Ruth had filed a police report of an intruder approaching Lee on her 9th birthday, Carter encourages Lee to talk to Ruth, directing her to her childhood belongings, where she finds a Polaroid of the pale-faced man, revealing Longlegs to be a man who had visited a young Lee in the 1970s. Lee submits the photo, leading to Longlegs' arrest. Realizing the missing date is that day, Lee fears that there is an accomplice. In the interrogation room, Longlegs claims to serve the man downstairs and hints at Ruth's involvement before killing himself. Agent Browning drives Lee to her mother's home, where Lee witnesses Ruth murder Browning with a shotgun. Ruth then destroys a doll resembling young Lee, causing Lee to lose consciousness. Lee sees that Ruth has been Longlegs' accomplice since Lee's childhood. Longlegs forced Ruth to choose between her daughter's death and his bidding, leading her to comply and spare Lee. Longlegs has lived in the Harker basement, creating satanic dolls that Ruth, posing as a nun, delivered to families, causing them to kill each other. Lee's doll blocked her memories of Longlegs while influenced her with his magic. Lee awakens in the basement and hears a demonic voice on the phone warning her about William's daughter, Ruby's 9th birthday party, which had been scheduled for that day. Lee rushes to save the Carters, whose death would complete Longlegs' triangle. She finds the family already possessed, with Ruth having delivered the doll. After Williams kills his wife Anna, Lee shoots him to protect Ruby. Ruth attacks with a dagger, forcing Lee to kill her. Lee tries to destroy the doll, but runs out of ammunition. She tells Ruby they need to leave, but Ruby remains frozen, staring at the doll. There's a lot packed into this movie that I was not expecting, because I have a rule with certain horror movies that I don't watch trailers. I don't really do a lot of research into them because I want to kind of go in blind. So I'm the same way with certain books. Like, I just want to kind of go in with a clean slate. So I went into this with a clean slate. The only thing I had was you telling me that it's Silence of the Lambs, which was correct. And I stated on our Discord that if Seven, the Zodiac, and Silence of the Lambs all had a baby with Satan, you would get Longlegs.
Yep.
Because I was not expecting the supernatural element to be as prevalent as it was or real. I thought it would just basically be like this guy's worshiping Satan, but not Satan actually being a credible part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish that there would have been a little more explanation as to how Longlegs got hooked up with fucking Smoky Legs.
Yeah, I do think that the element of mystery kind of works pretty well with it. But before we get into all that, like, you tell me your thoughts, because there are so many. Like, I looked earlier today when I was writing the notes for this. There are so many people who theorize of like here, I'm going to explain Longlegs to you, and everybody has a different interpretation of it, which is a great and beautiful thing. Some I think are a little odd. Like, someone wrote that when Lee woke up in the basement after realizing that her mother was the accomplice, and like after that, the energy orb was shattered, that Lee reverted back to her 9-year-old self, that she has been trapped at 9 years old for this entire movie in an adult's body, basically, because of her experience with Longlegs. And I was like, where the fuck did you get her? What I saw was a traumatized woman who lived with a hoarding mother and who's possibly severely on the spectrum and uses her intuition that does turn out to be more of a clairvoyance leaning type skill, but uses that to excel in law enforcement to the point where she's an FBI agent. I never thought like, oh, she's a 9-year-old basically trapped in an adult body. I thought that was a weird interpretation.
I mean, I'm kind of just like, I'm a big dumb idiot, so I didn't think anything of it. I assumed that when the fucking doll broke and shit, that it was just her, the lock on her was gone, and now she can think clearly, but it's like probably getting domed over the head real quick where there's some ringing and shit going on. Like, that's all that I really took out of it. At no point was I like, well, should we worry about being a 9-year-old because that's when the shoes and the other got a long legs and there's all this other stuff. Never once. I don't think everything needs to be this like profound, earth-shattering realization. Some things just are what they are.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it's like, yeah, it'd be cool to understand like like, I know that it's been said that it's a one and done. If they did a prequel to explain the Longlegs backstory, I wouldn't be that upset, but I also don't think it would be that good. It would probably ruin the movie, in my opinion.
100%.
I didn't really put 2 and 2 together that it was Silence of the Lambs until Alyssa pointed it out, and now I can't unsee it. Almost a little too on the nose. This special FBI agent, she even looks kind of like fucking what's her nuts.
Jodie Foster.
Thank you. That's what I thought, and then I'm like, if I say it, I'm gonna be wrong. She's gonna make fun of me. Then I'm gonna be traumatized. But yeah, and then very clearly Longlegs is Buffalo Bill in more than one way. Like, they kind of look the same, like that goofy loose skin shit, and he's in a basement, and there was just a lot of very similar things. So
for sure,
it's just further proof that even new movies aren't fucking new, because recycle everything. Idiots.
Oh yeah, I mean everything is a copy of a copy of a copy. It's
Right.
just a diluted copy.
It stands as a very good 2024 Silence of the Lambs, because kids that are getting into horror now probably will not go back and watch Silence of the Lambs, or they would do it later in life. So this would be a nice thing to be like, oh, if you like this, then go watch that type of shit. So it serves that purpose.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely loved it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, because the only thing I did see was a picture of Nicolas Cage as Longlegs, and I was like, I don't know. Like, that's not going to freak me out. But then I watched like a little snippet of the trailer when I went to go buy the tickets, and I was like, that's enough. Like, I'll watch like 5 seconds of it, see if it jives with me, worth to see it. And then you talked it up. I think the only thing that like I was audibly whispering while I'm in the movies with my girlfriend, I was just like, she fully saw Longlegs walking in her house and left evidence. I would not be sitting with my back to the room, analyzing it and decoding his fucking weird little language and cryptic messages when I know that he was in the vicinity not 5 seconds ago. I would be on the horn with the FBI, be like, Longlegs is in the area. I have a letter from him. I think I can decode it. But she's just like, I'm just going to do this in secret. What the fuck are you talking about?
She got a note that said, like, if you tell anyone, I'll kill your mom or some shit. I thought, or did I make that up?
Here's the thing. I have mommy issues, so I'd be like, all right, you were just in my fucking house. Who's to say you're not going to kill me?
Fucking psychopath. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck her. Yeah, I mean, either which way. Even though, like, I had, like, 1 or 2 things where I was like, I did not. It did a good job of making me forget certain parts of the film that like came up in parallels later, like the fact that Lee's mom is a hoarder because she never wanted her to grow up and she wanted to keep her safe.
Right.
And it like almost exactly pairs with a line that Carter says, or Carter's daughter Ruby says to Lee when they're in their room, which was a hilarious conversation between Lee and this little girl who seems fairly indifferent about being a child to begin with. And she's basically like, yeah, my dad makes me keep all this stuff because he doesn't want me to grow up too fast. So at this same exact scenario, which is why I think Lee was like, yeah, I'll go to your birthday party because I can see myself in you. I understand what that is like, having parents like that. Like, luckily for you, your fucking dad isn't a goddamn hoarder. But I enjoyed the story of it. I enjoyed like the unique features of it. The random little glowing of the eyes in the doll was creepy. I was never scared watching it. I was never like holding my breath or like clutching my pearls or whatever. But like the part where Lee is in her mom's house and she sees a cockroach coming out underneath that door that you don't realize is a basement door. It could just be a pantry or whatever. And that's the basement steps that she has locked because Longlegs lives downstairs. Like, that's insane. That's fucking insane. Her entire childhood, she never went down the basement because a fucking crazy ass serial killer was down there. Like, that's just fucking wild. But I loved it. It's definitely worth a trip to the theater. If you don't want to do that, then wait till it comes out video on demand.
It'll be out video on demand August the 26th. It comes out on digital, or the 27th. Sometimes it's like 11:59 p.m. So
see, this is why, again, another reason why do I even bother going to the movies when I can just watch it for free? But I did enjoy the experience.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there is that, but then there's very much like we go. Like, I looked at my Fandango things. Like, we go to a movie like once a year, give or take. We talked about going to a second one this year on Christmas because there was one coming out that we think might be good. I don't remember what it is, so that's how good it is. But yeah, it's just, well, we did, and I don't know if I told you this, but like we found out that the movie theater company in Wisconsin is called Marcus Cinemas. They do one Monday a month, a mystery movie for $5, and it's a movie that's coming out the following Friday. You know nothing other than the rating.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, so the one that's the Monday the 12th of August is a PG movie. So like, well, we'll wait, like probably October we'll have a rated R or PG-13 or like a horror movie. So like that might be fun to do because we both are really big into mystery boxes. Missed like something fun about a surprise.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good time. But yeah, it was definitely worth going to the movies for and experiencing it in a theater. But before we end the show, I do have some minutiae for you guys. Despite the praise and the acclaim of his portrayal as Longlegs, Nicolas Cage has stated that this will be his first and only portrayal of a serial killer for a film. In an interview with IndieWire, Cage said, "I know that the phone's going to be ringing off the hook to play serial killers after Longlegs, and that's not really what I like to do. I don't like violence. I don't want to play people who are hurting people." Many of Longlegs' encrypted messages contain misspellings and poor grammar after being decoded. This is an homage to the Zodiac Killer, who is also known for his coded messages containing typos, which often made it more difficult to decode his messages.
And not real.
I was literally just about to ask you, do you think the Zodiac Killer was one man or a bumble?
I think it was a bumble. If there was that documentary on, I think it was on Peacock, that made a lot of sense about how it's not one person. Or someone was just riding the coattails of murders. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, people do that shit all the time where they write in and they're like, I'm so-and-so. I know where this is, blah, 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 blah. And it's fucking not real because people are fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a book that I bought it literally because the cover was really good. And I think it's called, I can't remember. But it's basically about this guy who believed that his father was the Zodiac Killer. And I think I got like 50 pages in it, and I was just like, your dad isn't the fucking Zodiac.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
what
just
are you
grasping
talking
at
about?
straws
This
to put a book out to make money. Yeah, that sounds like the American way.
He fucking got my money, but the book color is still cool. I'll have to look. While often compared to other great leading men due to his skills as an actor, Longlegs director Oz Perkins recalled a story from production during an interview where he learned Nicolas Cage has a particular skill that he says no other actor possesses: the ability to recognize how high or low he is able to speak without messing up the audio. The story goes, according to Perkins, the sound guy came over to me one day. He comes up to me with a couple of days into Nick's being on set, and he's like, Oz, I've never seen anything like it. When Nick is mic'd, I'm watching the dials. When Nick goes big, he goes right to the line. Anything more, a decibel or two over that, and it would be hard to use. Then when he goes down, he goes soft, and his whispering, and he's barely talking. He goes right to the line. Anything past that line, you wouldn't be able to use it. He knows where the lines are. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think when you're Nicolas Cage and you come from the fucking Coppola family and you've been in movies your entire goddamn life, you kind of learn where to project your voice. Like, it's all about formal training and projecting your voice and learning how, like, that's knowing your craft inside and out.
Yeah, I feel like Nicolas Cage is kind of a fucking weirdo, but he's also a widely underappreciated actor.
Oh, 1,000% agree. 1,000%. I think he leans into his weirdo.
Yeah, he knows his brand.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his fucking son's name is Kal-El. Like, come on now. He's a weirdo. But I think people leech on to like his weird roles or, his wild outbursts. But like, you watch a movie like Matchstick Men or even Longlegs, the dude can do, or from Moonstruck to Matchstick Men to Longlegs, the dude can literally do a bajillion things. City of Angels, like, what the fuck is that dumbass movie that I recently watched? I think you made me watch it. He has long hair. He's a prisoner. Oh my God.
Army of One?
No.
Oh, Con Air?
Thank you. Fucking Con Air.
How dare you slander Con Air?
I wasn't trying to slander it, but his stupid ass hair.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Real wispy.
Yeah, I'll slander the hair. Yeah, real wispy. Longlegs quotes the poem Satan Says by Sharon Olds in his messages. This poem is about a girl locked in a cedar box being told by Satan that he can get her out if she blasphemies against her family. She does so, but Satan then seals her in the box and leaves her there. Never trust Satan. Nicolas Cage and Oz Perkins made the movie as a tribute to their mothers, which is a very beautiful thing. But also weird because it's a weird movie. The mother's kind of a fucking nut job. But also, I did read an interview, and it might come up in one of the facts, is just like, what would a mother do in that scenario? When you have someone who says, if you don't do this, your child is gone. I'm going to take her, like, I'm going to kill her. And like, you'd be hard pressed to find a mother that wouldn't do anything for their child. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
it's without hesitation. It's without hesitation.
Yeah, it makes sense when you understand, like when you put 2 and 2 together, which takes a half a fucking brain cell to realize what's going on, like why the mom did it.
Yeah.
So, but then it's almost like, is it kind of a cop out? Is it too easy of a reason as to like how you're gonna put all the pieces together? I don't know. I couldn't write a movie if my life depended on it, so I'm not gonna talk shit about him.
There you go. Oz Perkins thought of only 2 actors to play Longlegs, Nicolas Cage, and who would you think the second actor would be?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage and Nick Cage.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There was only one option.
If you could rack your brain and think of someone else who could fit into a Longlegs role, could anybody else come to mind? You're not going to get it.
John Travolta.
It's like fucking Face Off too. No. Brad Pitt.
Yeah, never would have. I could see him doing it, but that was not a name. Just because I think Brad Pitt's the fucking sculpted hunk.
I mean, subjectively, objectively, yeah, he's an attractive man, but like, I can't envision him doing this. Like, obviously there's Tyler Durden, there's the 12 Monkeys version of Brad Pitt, but a serial killer Brad Pitt, I don't know, man. I would have been intrigued to see it for sure, but I don't know if he could have brought that scene right before Longlegs kills himself where he's just like, or no, it's the very, very end. They do a clip of Longlegs again and he's just like, "Hail Satan," and he blows a kiss to the camera. I can't envision Brad Pitt doing that and I'm fucking skeeved out, other than just being like, "Calm down, dude." That, like, actually I was like, "Phew." Like, that's as much as that movie like got out of me, like a visceral reaction was just like, "Phew." Like a creepy ass dude. Like when he's in the fucking paint store and he's doing the weird thing with his hands.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "No, thank you, sir." Test audiences praised Nicolas Cage's performance and mentioned that he was so off-putting that it could potentially scare viewers off. Like I just said.
Isn't that what you're going for?
Yeah, exactly. He did the job well. If you feel that, he did the job well.
Mm-hmm.
Oz Perkins is a horror movie royalty, as I stated before. He is the son of Anthony Perkins, the actor that is best known for playing Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, as well as its 3 sequels, which Psycho 2, not that bad. I don't remember 3 and 4, but Psycho 2 I remember not being that bad.
I don't think I've ever seen.
You've never seen the sequels?
No.
Basically, Psycho 2's premise, oh my God, I can't speak, is Norman Bates being released from the mental institution that he had been in for the last 20 years or 30 years, and his integration back into society, but he works at the hotel still, and he's trying to resist the urge to kill again. And I'm pretty sure 3 and 4 are exactly the same thing, and I just don't remember anything because it's all like one movie. But the end credits scroll down instead of up. I did notice that.
I noticed
was like,
it too.
That's weird.
It bothered me.
Yeah. Again, off-putting. The whole movie was designed to make you feel uncomfortable, and it worked. The book, The Golden Bough, A Study in Magic and Religion by J.G. Fraser, is shown at many times at the crime scenes. This is a 12-volume series of anthropological texts on the observations of mythical and religious practices, taboos, and ceremonies from around the world. Longlegs had a popular social media marketing campaign which went viral and included billboards with nothing but the phone number 458-666-4355, which led to a pre-recorded message of Longlegs saying, "I'll be waiting," if the number was called before the release, or singing "Happy Birthday" if the number was called after. I obviously called after the release of the movie, and it is very creepy. Longlegs is singing "Happy Birthday" to you. Very, very unsettling. Did not like. The movie had a budget of less than $10 million, which is what it made on the opening day. And then I believe it grossed about $85 million as of recording this.
Yep.
The highest grossing live action Nicolas Cage movie since Ghost Rider. Jesus. That's saying something.
Right.
Ooh, the Russian title for the film translates to Soul Collector. Actually, one thing I want to look up real quick. What are the Taglines.
While you're doing that, I don't know if you saw that there was a marketing campaign a week or two ago where if your birthday was on the 14th, you would get free tickets to see this movie.
That's fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Actually, I think I didn't put taglines because there isn't any taglines. Damn, there's potential for this to have like fucking good taglines, but either which way. A decoded birthday card in the film reads, "Stood upon the sands of the sea." This is a reference to Revelations 13:1 from the Bible, which reads, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy." Listen, if you're not a religious person, that's fine. Respect. Revelation is an interesting read for anybody, any walk of life.
It's basically black metal in the Bible.
Yeah, man, so do it up. Oz Perkins' request of not using Nicolas Cage on the poster or in the trailer, despite him playing the titular character, led Neon to come up with the creative plan to promote and sell the movie without depending on Cage. Micah Monroe was kept completely in the dark over co-star Nicolas Cage's transformation as the serial killer Longlegs and had never seen Cage in character until they shot their infamous interrogation scene, which also happened to be Cage's final day on set. During filming, Monroe wore a microphone on her shirt, which along with her dialogue had managed to capture her heartbeat. Monroe's initial resting heart rate was 76 beats per minute. When the scene ended, it had spiked to a rate of 170 beats per minute. The sound of her panicked heartbeat was then used in a final promotion trailer prior to the movie's July 12th release. In an interview with IndieWire, Monroe recalled, "It was insane. It was absolutely insane. As you know, he completely transforms. There is no trace of Nick in there. His voice, his mannerisms, he is very much method on this. So it was in character, and it was a very disturbing character, to say the least." Now, we've talked about method acting numerous times before, how we kind of think it's bullshit. And I agree. I think it's bullshit when a person leaves the scene and they're still like, "Call me fucking Abe Lincoln." Looking at you, Daniel Day. But I feel like Nicolas Cage is kind of like the one that he is in it in the moment, but he's not Longlegs when they're like, "Hey, let's go to Kraft." But the fact that she knew him up to this point, knew it's Nick Cage sitting in front of her, but that she still had that reaction as she's acting. Testament, just like you said before, underrated dude.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
A shadowy horned goat-like creature representing Satan is presented throughout the film, particularly when Agent Harker is investigating the satanic elements of the crimes. The creature's appearances were meant to be subliminal and not readily apparent to the audience, in a similar manner to how the entity Pipes appears in the background of numerous scenes of Ghostwatch. I actually only noticed the goat outline once, and it was towards the very end. I'm looking forward to watching this again more intently and trying to see if I can find it elsewhere.
I don't remember seeing it at all. Not saying I didn't. I just don't. I don't recall specifically. I'm sure I did because I remember the eyes, the doll eyes lighting up every time. Because I thought that was really fucking cool. Because I caught it the first time, so every time they would show the doll with the sheet over it, I would watch for it. So
yeah, I love that. That really creeped me out. But there, the one I remember distinctly because I felt like they made it a lot more present in this one moment. It's like in an art, like a threshold of a doorway. So it was like a really like light background because it was like against wallpaper that was really lightly colored. And then all of a sudden you just see the fucking, the goat horns and stuff. That's the only time I noticed it. So like I said, I'm really looking forward to this getting released on digital so I can fucking go through it with a tooth comb.
you can Google and it'll show you. There's at least one where the girl's sitting on the bed and it's behind it. That's got to be the one that I noticed because it's very easy to pick out.
That might even be the one I'm thinking of too, because if it's in a room.
Yeah, it's like in a bedroom.
Yeah. When the upside down triangle flashes on the screen during Lee's FBI association test, she labels it with father. The triangle is a symbol that she connects with Longlegs and Satan later on. It also suggests Lee being unwittingly under the influence of Satan the entire time. So that kind of just adds another layer to the film. This is a beautifully onioned layered movie of Lee is literally gone through her entire life having some influence of Satan within her, and yet she was strong enough to beat it. Technically, maybe. I don't know. We don't know. It's left open-ended. We don't know what happens to her and Ruby because Ruby, her dumbass, refuses to fucking move
Right.
because she's still fucking bewitched. But
Fucking kids.
fucking kids. I think about that, and I don't know if I've ever said this on this show, that I think about occasionally, like if there's like a horrible scenario, which God forbid, I don't want that to happen, but like there's a scenario where like I need me and the kids to be like quiet. We're getting murked because
100%.
they'd be like, "What? What are you saying? Speak louder. I gotta pee." Like it was just we'd be done.
Shut the fuck up, Natalie. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, it would 1,000% be her because she'd be like, "I farted," and then like murked.
What serial killer won't just be like, all right, it's funny as shit. It's fine. You can live.
You can live, but your mother's going to have to be a soldier for Satan for the rest of your lives. But anyway, that is Longlegs. Absolutely crushed it. Previews for the upcoming horror films from 2024 into 2025 look great. I'm super thrilled. I hope we do more of these. I hope we see more movies so that we can review them kind of in real time. But yeah, go see Longlegs. Absolute yay. Nailed it. Creepy, but not too scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna yay it. I was reading some reviews people put on Google where they shit all over, and even before I saw it, I watched like a video review a little bit, and the guy shit all over the acting, and it's like sometimes just don't be so fucking critical and just enjoy something for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand when people just completely dog everything. Like someone labeled this movie as a high art psychological horror thriller. And I was like, yeah, it can be, but it also doesn't have to be high art if you don't want it to interpret it that way.
Right.
But, you know, opinions are like elbows.
Everyone's an asshole.
Yep, there it is. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this Featurette Friday. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed listening to us more than usual.
Hail Satan.
Nice.
Not that I could do the voice, but
Can you just do a little mwah? There it is. Bye.
may.
There she is. What's your name? Little angel?